Bass Lake Country Club in Antigo, Wisconsin, this is the 1997 Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Classic. Now with your host, Jim Homestead.
Welcome to coverage of the 37th Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Golf Classic. I'm Jim Homestead, along with Antigo Bass Lake Pro Mike Koulis and Jay Logie, the sports editor of the Wausau Daily Herald. We're here to give you final round coverage of the 37th annual tournament here today at ABL.
It's the only scratch amateur event in north central Wisconsin, so it's big.
It would mean a lot. First one was just super. The second one, but I would just love to have it.
We've got quite a horse race shaping up in this final round here at ABL. They quickly just the 27-hole results. Rick Miller had taken a one-shot lead over Dan Rajek, and we'll be back with more on our update as they approach 16, 17, and 18 here in the 37th Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Golf Classic. So stay with us. 7th Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Golf Classic. Just a quick update on the standings so far. Craig Blanchard, the player out of the Antigo Bass Lake Country Club, has taken the lead here in our final round coverage. He is at 1 under par through 14 holes. Dan Rajek, the first round leader and former champion, is even through 12. And Mark Giese, playing out of the Merrill Golf Course, is even through 14. Some nice shooting going on holes 10 through 14 as we'll catch up with Mr. Blanchard here momentarily, but he's seized the lead and took advantage of some birdie opportunities.
Yeah, that seems to be the stretch to make some hay out here. The par fours are relatively short. They can come up with some tough pin placements, but generally speaking, they're short par fours that they should be hitting wedge into or less.
It's a real good test for driving on this backside for being straight, and Craig is probably the straightest driver of all our members on this course.
37th annual tournament. Our leader is Craig Blanchard and Mark Giese at even. We'll be back with more after this.
Second shots for the next group coming up. That includes our leader, Craig Blanchard.
Craig Blanchard out of Antigo Bass Lake. Arlen Lumens, a veteran Channel 7 golf participant, and Rob Wendorf out of Century World. That's Rob wearing the cap. Second shot on the par 4 16.
That rolls off the back on the green. He's resting on the fringe. Slight downhill slope that he'll have to hit from.
Tom, one of the most difficult things hitting shots out of the rough is you can grab that club face and twist it, and you're going to pull a shot. But another thing that can happen is if it's sitting just right and you catch the grass between the ball, it'll actually go about 20 yards further than you had planned. It's called a flyer, and that kind of looked like that shot there that I just kind of jumped on him and went a little long.
Seemed like he had a little more into it than he had planned for.
And our leader will strike next, Craig Blanchard. And Mike, I understand you played a little bit of a trick on Craig early this morning.
Yes, I did this morning.
Jump started.
He had I believe it was 8:40 tee time. It was about 7:40. I saw him walking in with his wife, and I went on my PA and said, last call for Blanchard on the tee, last call. And he started a foxtrot over there, running sprint, and I stopped him about halfway and said, relax, Craig, and you got a good laugh at it, and hopefully it loosened him up a little bit.
Cruelty takes many forms, and that's one of them.
Well, you got to have some fun on it.
Craig crawls up just on the, not quite up on the green itself. Looks like he's on the fringe on the front side, front right-hand corner. The leader, Craig Blanchard, is on the just off the front half. The front right-hand corner of the green. See how he plays this. Pulls the putter out of the bag. His third shot of the hole. puts the putter back in, says, not going to do it that way. Grabs the wedge and decides to chip it off the fringe. So Mike, here's an interesting club choice. Just a minute ago you said most people play the putter, but Craig decided to go with the wedge.
And still playing good golf after all these years. Been playing for 40 years, he tells us.
So Blanchard picks a stroke up on Geezy. Geezy bogeyed 16. Blanchard scrambles for par.
That was a great saving putt there.
They'll move on. Craig Blanchard out of Anago Bass Lake Country Club is our leader in the 37th Channel 7. He is at 1 under par. And we'll be back with more after this. Stay with us.
Actually, they're getting quite a bit of a break here. They're playing the hole at 185, and from the back tees, it's 201. But because of some equipment we had to have up there for filming, they're playing the shorter hole.
You know, Mike, I played it at 198 the other day, and I think I would have had a hole in one at 185.
And Blanchard shot also, I believe, finding the bunker. Can't quite see it after over the little ridge there. But he's either in the bunker or very close to it.
73 yesterday, 36-37, Mike, so he gave it a shot.
He gave it a shot. I watched Dave just a few holes. He hits it a mile. He did say he had a little bit of a tough putting round again yesterday, and there we go back to our golf course again. It's not that long. It's you keep it in play and putt well. Anyone can have a chance here.
That's Craig.
Our leader, Craig Blanchard, getting set. You can't see his ball from our vantage point. I understand he is in the rough, not in the bunker, but in some rough just between the bunker and the green.
I'm sure he'd much rather be in the bunker.
And of course, we talked Friday with all the rain that pelted the course on Friday, and things dried out a little bit. It totally changed the complexion of the bunkers, and that sort of situation, Mike.
Right, a shot that he's got there out of the bunker, he can spin it and stop it. Coming out of that rough, the way he was kind of looking at that ball, I could tell he was pretty concerned. It's just hard to judge how hard to hit it.
Pretty good effort from the fringe there by Rob Wendorf. Slid it past a couple feet left for his par.
And Mr. Blanchard, who's no stranger to championship golf, I might add, has won the Anago City Championship 3 times, been a club champion 3 times each at Anago Bass Lake and Riverview in Anago, and has played very well.
And pretty well played from there, I would say. As Mike says, tough to get out of the rough, but he did that nicely, and he'll only have maybe 18 inches left to try to get the par here.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Craig's one of those guys that we'll see here in about 15th of October. It's snow flurries or rainy, 40 degrees, and he'll be out there walking the golf course.
Yeah, the night I came up here a couple weeks before the tournament, the guys in the clubhouse said they were surprised he was not out there that night. They say he usually out here playing 18, shows up about 6 o'clock and gets in the round before dark.
Blanchard finished second at Timber Ridge back in 1987. That's when I first met him, and I think this is one that he dearly loved to win. He's played in at least 15 Channel 7 tournaments, and would love to win it.
I know he's outwardly not showing it, but I know it would be just a fantastic thing for him to win on his home course here.
And well done as he saves par there with a couple foot putt, and you can hear some cheers. Obviously he's got some of a hometown following, and some folks starting to gather to see the leaders come up the last few fairways.
Blanchard remains at 1 under par and the leader through 17 holes. That's Craig Blanchard on the 18th tee and attacking the par 4 here as he brings it home. Coming off a fine par 3 on the 17th to keep himself at 1 under and in the lead.
Understand, can see from my vantage point here, Craig Blanchard is behind the home base of our operations of the Channel 7 Wausau Daily Herald Golf Tournament. The truck where our director and technical staff are located, and they were asking for a ruling. I believe he's going to have a shot there.
As you're heading towards the clubhouse on the 18th fairway, it's just off to the left side.
Not much he could do from there. All he could hope to do was chip it out into the fairway, and can't tell where his ball landed, but I think he's done as much as he could with that shot.
And there's our leader, Craig Blanchard, who has run into a little bit of trouble here on the 18th. Off to the right side as you're looking at the fairway, he had a shot that landed near our technical facilities, our truck, and a cable that's strung along the 18th fairway there. As we said, the leader, Craig Blanchard, at -1, and former champion Dan Rajek and 19-year-old Joe Guile, UW-Madison golfer, both at even par. So that's the 17th. Brad Krieger's out there for us.
Miller just chipping out of the bunker, and that one lands about 10 feet past the green, or past the pin, I should say. Dan Rajek gonna have a birdie attempt next. As we said, pretty lengthy putt here.
On the par 4 18th, Craig Blanchard lies 3, according to Mike Houlis. A little bit of trouble for Craig there.
Right, Craig hit his tee ball left and had to pitch out onto the fairway, pitched out about 20 yards and hit just a fabulous shot in here for his 3rd shot.
Dewey will settle for a par putt.
All right, we'll pick it up now on the 18th. Craig Blanchard, our leader, at 1 under par. This is par putt. He's got it. He's got it.
And he knocks it home. Kind of a pressure putt there that keeps him with an opportunity to force a tie with a birdie on 18. And Dewey Paczynski finishes up with a par also. So Craig Blanchard finishes 1 under, and Guile and Dan Rajek still with a chance to birdie 18 and see if they can force a playoff.
We've got a great finishing hole coming up, the par 4 18th. A 1-shot lead for Craig Blanchard as he goes for his first ever tournament championship. We'll be back with more after this. Stay with us. All right, we're back with more coverage. We've got a great finish coming up here. Craig Blanchard in the clubhouse with a finish of 1 under par.
Everyone's really pulling for Craig. He's probably one of the most respected people I know, not just as a golfer. He's a great guy and a great golfer, and a lot of people up here are pulling for him.
And he's on the verge of winning what would be his first championship in this tournament. By Mr. Blanchard, who has reason to celebrate tonight and feeling real good about winning his first in this tournament.
Yes, Craig, well, he's not the type to over-celebrate, if you catch my drift, but I'm sure he's going to have a great time with his family and friends and reflect back, and we're all very proud of him.
Mike, you seem to have a gut feeling about him coming into this tournament. Had he been playing well?
He has, and Craig is so steady. He doesn't get the big numbers. When he plays bad, he shoots 75. When he plays good, he shoots 68, 69, 70. He's not one to, he doesn't have the type of game where he's going to get a lot of big numbers. He's very straight, very solid, and just a real steady player.
championship. Last won the tournament in '92.
I'm sure Dan's a little mad right now, but he's a great guy, a great fun guy to be around, and try to be mad for about 30 seconds, and then he'll have a big smile on his face.
Really is a great guy. That's a great group of guys right there, finishing up the Channel 7 tournament. Our champion from the Anago Bass Lake Country Club, Craig Blanchard, finishing at 1 under par. Great score for him. We'll be back to talk with Craig and have more on the tournament after this. Stay with us. We're back at the Anago Bass Lake Country Club, where Craig Blanchard has won his first ever Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Golf Classic Championship. Craig, playing out of the Anago Bass Lake Country Club, enjoying the home course advantage. Shot 1 under par for the tournament. The champion, Craig Blanchard. Craig finished very close back in '87. You were very close then, Craig, and now you've got one.
Boy, I'm really happy about it. It's been a long 15 years, and playing in a real nice tournament that Channel 7 has sponsored, along with the Wausau Daily Herald this year. Marvelous course conditions. I'm a member here, and I haven't seen the course in this good a condition in the 12 years that I've been a member. It was really a pleasant experience to play, in spite of the weather conditions before the tournament started. For the women, I know it was rough going.
Yeah, a lot of rain on Friday, and that kind of slowed things up a little bit, and the scoring went right out of sight during the first day here.
Yes, I was surprised. I think there was a 67 and a couple of other scores in the 60s, and I knew that I would have to probably shoot a 64, 65, I was figuring. And I got it to 2 under, and somebody came around on the course and said that I was leading. And of course, maybe that made the collar a little tighter. But I persevered, and I got up and down on the last 3 holes, and I really made a marvelous par in the last hole to save my par and put it away, really.
That was a beautiful 4. You talked about playing on your home course and that sort of thing. How much did you feed off that, and how much did that help you go up and down in 4 on 18?
A lot, because of course I know the undulations in the greens, I know yardages. I've played hundreds of rounds. You know exactly where you are and what you're facing, and there's no question it gives you an advantage.
They're surprised when you're not out here. You do play a lot of golf, and it shows.
Yes, I probably play about as much as anyone.
Well, congratulations, and we're looking forward to having you back next year. Don't know at the moment where that tournament's going to be. We're working on that, and an announcement is forthcoming, but will you be back with us?
Oh, you bet. And I also want to take the opportunity to praise the Lord, because the reason that really I'm standing here is because of Him and what He's done in my life, not just in life in general, and He's promised me an abundant life, and I guess this is part of it today, and I want to give Him the honor and the glory, really.
All right, well, we're very happy for you. Craig Blanchard, our 1997 Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Golf Classic Championship winner, finishing at 1 under par for the tournament. As we said, we don't at this time know where the tournament will be next year. An announcement will be forthcoming, but we'll be glad to have a great champion like Mr. Blanchard back with us. I'm Jim Homestead, and that's all from the Anago Bass Lake Country Club in rural Langlade County. See you next year.
In the Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Golf Classic. But prior to this year, his best finish was a 2nd place 10 years ago. Blanchard set out to change that in today's final round. After a 72 on the first day, the 55-year-old Blanchard fired a 2 under par 69 today. He wins the Channel 7 Invitational for the first time and does it on his home course, the Anago Bass Lake Country Club.
It was my best competitive round ever. There was a lot of pressure. I felt the pressure, and I responded in the right way, particularly on those last 3 holes. 2nd place isn't like 1st place. No one remembers who finishes 2nd, but they might remember this.
Well, I think they will. Congratulations to Craig Blanchard. We'll have a full recap of championship round action tonight at 10 o'clock. For now, a quick look at the final scoreboard today. He wins it with a 1 under par total. Joe Guile of Leona finishes even par, and David Kopp, the defending champion, finishes in 3rd at +1. Daily Herald Golf Classic, but you can never count out a seasoned veteran playing in his own backyard. 55-year-old Craig Blanchard had to overcome a 5-shot deficit in round 2. After a 72 on the first day, Blanchard fired a 2 under par 69 today.
He wins the Channel 7 Invitational for the first time and does so on his home course, the Anago Bass Lake Country Club.
It was my best competitive round ever. There was a lot of pressure. I felt the pressure, and I responded in the right way, particularly on those last 3 holes. Second place isn't like first place. No one remembers who finishes second, but they might remember this.
Yeah, they certainly will. Jim Homestead will have a full recap of today's championship round action in just a few minutes.
Well, hi, everybody. Thanks for staying up with us for tonight's summary. I'm Jim Homestead. Our 37th men's tournament featured some of the most skilled players in north central Wisconsin, both young and old. The second oldest competitor in the championship field of 19 would turn up a winner, while one of the 2 youngest players established himself with a second place finish today. Names and numbers are forthcoming. The championship flight completed its 18 holes before thunderstorms moved in. First round leader Dan Rajek looks good here, but the Stevens Point Country Club entry struggled to a 4 over 40 of the front 9. Rick Miller of Wisconsin Rapids Bullseye played in a threesome with Rajek and Dwayne Paczynski of the Stevens Point Country Club. Miller's 37 on the front propelled him to a 1-shot lead over Rajek at the turn, but the trio never found the spark it was looking for.
I'm not sure that we made a birdie on the front 9. I think that we were watching each other when we should have been worried about our game and the golf course, and because there's a bunch of other guys that were only 1 shot or 2 shots back.
Greg Blanchard was playing on his home course, and the home cooking emerged with back-to-back birdies on 10 and 11.
I'm not long and noted for my accuracy and knowing distances and hitting my clubs a certain distance and being a reasonable putter. So a course like this, my home course, that really plays into my hand.
Defending champion David Kopp of the Stevens Point Country Club matched the tournament's best 9 with a 3 under 32 on the back. His run for another title would fall short by 2 shots. 19-year-old Joe Guile of Leona, playing out of Rhineland or Northwood, birdied the 16th to move to even par, tied with Rajek at just 1 shot behind Blanchard.
At least so.
I came down the stretch. I played well. I liked the situation I was in, and I came through. I thought I was 1 under in the last 5 holes and put it together.
Trailing by 1 stroke, Rajek ran into trouble hitting out of bounds on the 18th. He finished with a double bogey. Blanchard finished with a hard-earned par 4 to win his first ever championship at age 55 by 1 over Guile, 2 over Kopp, and 3 over 56-year-old Arlen Lumens of the Rhinelander Country Club.
I kind of knew that I was maybe within a stroke or 2 of the lead, and how important that was to get up and down for par. And of course, I had to put a little bit more pressure on, but I responded, so I'm happy about that.
You don't figure you're going to have too many more chances to beat these guys, that are playing on the university teams and obviously younger and longer than you are. But I'm glad Craig won, and I'm happy with my game today. And maybe next year we can sneak it up a notch.
And we're happy to have him. Now we're going to take a quick time out as we ease into the break. Let's take a look at the top scores in the 4 flights. Championship starts it off. The B flight was cut to 27 holes, and the C flight got in 23 before the thunderstorms took over. Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Golf Champion. Greg is not the oldest to win the tournament, but he still says he has plenty of competitive fire.
I'm not ready to just play it for fun. I think I still have a lot of competitive years in me, so I'll continue to play.
And a great player he is. That wraps up this year's wrap-up summaries of the Channel 7 Invitational Wausau Daily Herald Golf Tournaments. I want to mention that Susan Picard won her first ever title as well this year. Congratulations to her. That's it, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.